So it's day number 9 of my journey back to power, and today is Tuesday morning, which is the first morning that I have the kids back. And of course, I started out the day in my normal mom mode, ready to make breakfast, help anybody with what they needed, read instructions for games that people were playing, and generally just try to satisfy needs, keep up with the household, do dishes, and also I trade stocks in the morning. I've been learning the stock market for about 8 months now, and so on business days, I am trading stocks from about 7:30 a.m. to noon, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. So I'm always kind of keeping an eye on the stock market too. So of course, today was super busy, and it always takes me a minute to get back into the pace of having kids and also trying to keep up with the market and get things like this done on the blog and, keep up with my emails and just all the various things that it requires to keep up a household, be a mother to 3 children, and, keep my financial house in order too. So it is a lot. And when I came into the afternoon hours, I really realized that my mental state was I felt kind of overloaded, right? I just started my cycle yesterday, and so I'm just feeling kind of like sensitive to energies. Things are feeling louder to me. I'm a little bit tired, not as energized as normal. And part of staying in my power place, I realized over the past month probably, is that when I hit these afternoon hours, it's generally mid afternoon around 2 to 3 p.m., it's really important for me to say, hey, kids, like, I'm going to set you up with Legos. I'm going to set you up with some music if you want to listen to music, or Charlie's in there playing with his magic cards right now. But what I need to do at this moment is some intermittent self-care. So yesterday on day number 8, I talked about self-care being important, right? And I hinted at things like going to the hot springs for the day, or, just taking a break, or whatever it is that you need to do in order to stay up with your self-care. But the way that I spoke about it yesterday was more in terms of, taking a day off or taking time to reset and renew, things like that. But being a mom, as I know so many of you are, I can't just disappear. I can't just walk away for a day and reset whenever I'm feeling tired like I am today. I'm still on mom duty as well, right? So intermittent self-care is the way that I have learned to kind of cope with that afternoon mental crash where I'm just feeling kind of, oh, my cats are getting all angry at each other. But to cope with that intermittent mental crash where it's like, okay, I am feeling really tired. My energy and my attention has been pulled in literally 5 or 6 different directions all at once for the past 5 or 6 hours. And now I'm ready to kind of like reset and come back to the kids because I'm not working anymore and really be present in the now. And how do I do that? And so I have found that in these mid-afternoon hours, stopping and doing a 30-minute meditation, I do a meditation practice with Joe Dispenza. So he has audio files on his website that are available for download, and he has a 30-minute meditation called Changing Boxes. And it's all about basically kind of getting your mental space cleaned out and then starting to cultivate the feeling that you want to have again. So changing boxes into a new feeling. So I will just say, hey, kids, like, you're going to entertain yourself for 30 minutes. I'm going to get you whatever you need for this 30 minutes. And then I just go and I lay down on my bed and I do this changing boxes meditation. And it has absolutely revolutionized my way of being and my ability to stay in a powerful place since I've been doing it for about the last month and a half. So anyways, I just wanted to touch on the fact that self-care doesn't always mean taking a day off or going somewhere and doing something in order to remain in your power place. Sometimes we can't just disappear for a day or two until we feel back in our energy. And so having a small practice like a meditation in the middle of the afternoon, or even a nap in the middle of the afternoon, or even just a 15 or 20-minute breathing exercise. There is something called heart-brain coherence, where when we breathe into our heart space, you take one big deep breath in for 5 seconds, and then exhale for 8 seconds, all while keeping your attention in your heart space. So if you do that breathing for 3 minutes while your attention's in your heart space, your heart brain sync up and they start to basically function on the same wavelength. And that also really energizes you, makes you feel more centered. It really changes your state of being. So little things like this, little practices like this, even remembering to eat well, to have a drink of tea if you're feeling, like you could just take a break that way, or reading 15 minutes of a good book, anything that recharges you for just a short period throughout the day is also amazing self-care, and for sure adds to my journey. Another thing that I do throughout the day is I'll pick up my guitar and I'll play guitar for 10 or 15 minutes, and that will give me an epic boost for the rest of my day. So I would love to hear, I heard some of your self-care practices for when you take a day off or things like that, but what are your self-care practices for when you're in the middle of a busy day and you can't just disappear, you can't just step out, you can't take the day off? How do you recharge? How do you rest in order to come back and continue in your power throughout the rest of that day?